Do you have a loose shower arm drop L in your wall? Is your shower doing this? Well, stick around and I'm going to show you how to fix this problem without having to cut any sheetrock. Step number 1. You are going to take a pencil and you're going to go to the escutcheon here and you're going to just outline the escutcheon on the wall all the way around. All right. Now the next thing you're going to do is you're going to take a pair of channel locks or whatever you need to, and typically what I'll do for these type of shower heads, I'll grab some channel locks, put a rag around it so I don't want to scratch anything, and we're going to go ahead and untighten this. There we go. So you're just going to take this off just so it's out of the way. Step number 2, you're going to go ahead and remove the escutcheon. All right, so now that you've got your outline of the escutcheon, what you're going to do is come in from the outline just a little bit, and you're going to want to draw just another circle here. And that's going to be for when you start chipping out the sheetrock right here. You don't want to go past the outline of the escutcheon, otherwise you will have to do sheetrock. So this part is important. So now that you've got your outlines drawn, we're going to go ahead and take a flathead screwdriver and a hammer, and you're just going to chip out from your inside ring towards the shower arm. And just be very, very delicate and careful. We're not in a rush to do this. And it'll chip just a little bit at a time. And I would recommend that if you are doing this in a shower, just because you're using tools and there's debris falling, that you cover the base of the shower using something like a drop cloth just to give it a cushion. If you feel more comfortable, you can always take out the arm. I'm going to leave it in for this video because I've done this so many times that I know I'm not going to mess it up. All right, so we've got our hole chipped out here, and if you can see, it is actually moving up and down because there's no screw in the top screw hole. So there'll be one on each side and one at the top, and it'll either be nails or screws, and they're typically just loose and they need to be tightened. So you can tap a nail in or just tighten the screws and you will be good to go. All right, so now that empty hole that we had, we're going to go ahead and take a screw and we're going to put one in. All right. And then any extra screws or nails, whatever was used, you can go ahead and tighten those. If you want to tap the screws in, you could use a punch or sometimes like a screwdriver and a hammer, depending on what you have accessible. Next step, we're going to put the escutcheon back on the wall, and you'll see that when I put it back on, it's still covering the entire hole that we just chipped out. And look how sturdy this thing is. So we'll go ahead and pull it back real quick. And if you have like a magic eraser, sometimes I'll use pencil erasers, but they have to be really good. You could just clean this off the wall. A magic eraser works the best. All right. Now we're going to put the escutcheon back. And we are going to caulk around the escutcheon plate so that it seals everything and no moisture gets back in there. I use Odie Ultra Clear Tub and Tile. It's a great product. And I just hold the escutcheon while I'm doing this. Just kind of put a nice bead around. Typically I recommend just using a moist rag. You can kind of just hold this in place. All right. So now it's caulked and sealed. And the final step is going to be putting the shower head back on. Now you're going to take your Teflon tape, have nice clean threads. We're going to go ahead, I'm just using regular white Teflon tape, and we're going to apply some. And we want to try and keep it, you always want to keep the first thread on Teflon taped, but keep it nice and tight because we want the shower head to cover. And we're going to go 5 or 6 wraps with this. Depending on the thickness and the brand of the Teflon tape, I have different numbers that I roll it with. Some things like the Blue Monster tape, it's a little thicker. It only needs probably 3 or 4. So we're going to put this on. Some of these shower heads they've got a rubber O-ring in it, and technically you don't need to put any Teflon tape. But I always recommend putting a little bit. So now we're just going to go ahead and take those channel locks again, just to snug this up. And you're good to go. No sheetrock work, looks great, looks like nothing ever happened. Now we'll just clean up and we'll be good to go. So if you'll like, subscribe, give us a thumbs up, and we will give you 2 thumbs up. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for more how-to videos. Have a good day.